My friend requested that I talk about money, and more specifically, I was talking to her about it's a conversation I had with somebody recently where they were talking about how expensive something is. And this is always so funny to me when people are like, this is expensive, that's cheap. How do we know? Like, who put a rule that says this is expensive? Who put a rule that says $10 for a water bottle is expensive? Who put a rule that says this much for this house, for this item of clothing, for this food, for this whatever is expensive or not expensive? Whether or not something is expensive is all perception. It is all based off of the perception of how much money that person can see. And I say how much money that person can see because there are a lot of people who have tons of money, millions of dollars, who still believe certain things are expensive because they're still living in scarcity, and what they see is limitation. So somebody who sees limitation, they're always gonna experience life through the lens of it's limited. So everything's gonna be expensive. So whether or not something is expensive or not is just based off of somebody's literal thought. Somebody just literally thought in their mind, this is expensive, this is not expensive. And you don't want to base your own internal perception off of other people's lens, because other people's perceptions are based off of their own personal experiences. And so you don't even want to base your perception off of your own personal experiences. You want to create your own perception based off of your desired outcome. What do you want to be expensive and what do you want to not be expensive? So for me, I have always carried the idea that I want everything to feel like a no big deal. Like, I want a $50,000 handbag to feel like a $5 coffee purchase. I want to have so much money and wealth and abundance in my life that everything just feels so easy, and that it all just feels like overflow. It just feels like there's more than enough. There's always more than enough. Even at this point in time where currently in my bank account, like, if you look at the numbers, if you ask a financial advisor, they'd say, yeah, this girl cannot afford a $50,000 handbag. But it's about how you experience yourself in your inner state that's going to help you manifest what you want. And that has always been a rule that I've lived by, because I have manifested things in the past that I didn't have physical access to, but I held the inner state of how it felt, and then it came to fruition. Even me recently being married and getting engaged this year and getting married, like, that was something that wasn't a reality 6 months ago. I didn't have this ring on my finger 6 months ago, but I held the inner feeling, the inner state. It wasn't available to me, but I was practicing who I wanted to be. And I think that's the most important thing in life, is practicing who you want to be and how you want to feel, and the feeling impression. I don't know if that's even a word, but that's like how I experience it. It's like the feeling as an impression on our subconscious, on our nervous system, like how you want to actually feel, because the feeling state to me is the only important thing, because everything from there manifests. And I wrote this on Instagram when I tagged one of my coaches. I said, a shift in consciousness is greater than a change in reality, because identity will always be the biggest reality bender. Let's break that down. So let's break that first part down. What does that mean? That means that I spent so many years trying to change the outside, thinking that that's what needed to change, when actually I needed to change the inside. That it was never my reality, it was me internally that was creating the reality. So I had to go within first. So a shift in my consciousness was always 10 times greater than trying to externally change things, because my identity is the reality bender. Trying to change things externally is so temporary and it's not permanent. And you'll lose it. It's not real. What's real is a shift in your identity, is the change in your consciousness. Because that is what bends reality. Our consciousness is the reality bender. Changing our ways of being is what changes our 3D, what we see. That is the only way that I know how to change, and how I've manifested everything in my life, is once I went within, in myself, taking personal accountability, watching my thoughts, regulating my nervous system, getting comfortable in my body, trying to understand why certain things triggered me, rewiring my belief systems to believe something different, undoing my negative patterns and habits, those inner things that change your reality. That's what changes the reality. The inner, the consciousness, the beingness, you, because you're always the bottom line. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else I want to say. My throat is, I still didn't figure out what's wrong with my throat. I think I'm going to ask like one of my coaches. It might be because I try to show up perfect, or like the way that I'm talking, or like the energy in which I'm talking. I don't know, but I'll let you guys know when I figure it out. I'm so excited because I'm leaving for Europe in a few days, and I'm literally boasting with joy. I'm like, I can't even believe it. Like, I'm so excited. But yeah, that's my message for today, is that change starts within. So yeah, I love you guys, and expect some European content. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, because now I have to like show up. But yeah, expect some European content. I don't want to give away where I'm going yet, but you guys will soon find out. So I love you so much, and I'll talk to you later.